Okay, so we're gonna tie some of this into some stuff that you guys are for sure familiar with, right? So, 10th planet, you already saw it. We've all seen this a million times. We get this position, right? Twist inside, we're scooping and we're going for our truck actions, right? So, this spot feeds into everything we just did too. If we don't want to go truck, we scoop both legs. Now we're in our leg chunks. So if we play twister, if you play twister side in your game, great. This is great because here he's going to be turning into me. When he turns in, boom, scoop. I'm sitting in. He starts. This is where wrist ride stuff. He's going to build to that elbow. Same side, grabs the wrist. I push this wrist towards his hip. Outside arm goes around and hooks the wrist. I'm going to pull everything towards me as I shift my weight diagonally over his shoulder. Now, if I'm all tied up here, it feels like he's maybe really on my arm and I can't extract my arm, we're going to go hammer lock. This way a little bit. Put your arm back underneath. So hammer lock, whichever arm is in, that's the shoulder that drops. That's where my weight distribution is going to be. I'm going to put my weight on his back in between his scapula. And then I'm going to walk towards that arm to here. This is my rake. Fingers up. I go under, I find his hands. Once I found his hands, I just rip that grip open. We get to here. The finish is dropping my forearm into the back of his shoulder and pulling his wrist out. It's just like a kimono. It's just a hammer lock. So, let's go here. It builds up. Another thing I can do is I can just pummel inside to a claw grip. Now, the way I like to set up the arm triangle from here is I'm going to open him up. I have two grips here. Shallow, where I'm grabbing his trap with my hand. This allows me to manipulate him. Once I'm ready to commit to the choke, my hand goes on the shoulder. I go elbow deep. Palm down. Join my hands. Temple to temple. My choking elbow drives downward. I keep my weight on him as I spiral and I bring my face over to his face.
See, how does your elbow come down? Can you show it without?
Choking arm, elbow drives down into that shoulder. That's the motion. You're going to rotate over his face. There's a bunch of ways to finish an arm triangle. The way that I've really started to like is just the more I can keep him on his side. This is for any position you're in. You're just regular mounted arm triangle here. Same thing. I want to start the choke as early as possible. So I'm really going to stuff this shoulder in. You can kind of, it's like karate chops. Get that elbow deep. Palm down. Get our grip. Choking elbow drives downward. Down. Temple to temple. Now as I spiral, my chin rotates over his face. I don't really have to squeeze much there, but if you feel like there's just that last little bit, just get a little squeeze. Palm down. If you go palm down, there's no gap. If you go palm up, there's a gap. That's why we go. Last one is going to be belly down. So here, hit our leg ride, we turn him. Typically, we're going to got here with a wrist ride. The great thing about this is like, I can use RNC style pressure without really getting an RNC. All I got to do is get across his face, I'll pull his head up, and I'm going to put my chest in. That's usually, like, you'll get past it, for sure. If it's down all the way, do like a kung fu fist, right? Yeah. That thumb right behind his ear. And I'm going to cut, and I'm going to pull elbow down. I finish these one-handed. You just hook the back of the shoulder and retract your elbow this way. Those are the three main subs I chase from these rides because they keep you on top, they keep you heavy. Not a lot of risk to them, right? You know, they're pretty strong. So play with those, and then depending on how much time we have left, maybe we'll just do a Q&A. Yeah, so we'll say twister side. familiar. Step, hook, turn back. He builds, wrist, pull stuff. Here's my choices. Hammer lock, RNC, arm triangle. If I go hammer lock, open my legs, drop my shoulder. Build height. Your elbow. Wrist, wrist, drive. Number 2, arm triangle. This is going to be hard to block. Shoot through. Pull him in, open the chin. Pull him in, open the chin. Extract your arm on the shoulder, shoot deep, palm down, elbow down, temple to temple, rotate. Good. Yep. Bring your face over his face. Last one. Builds to an elbow, wrist, shuck, wrist, forward. For RNC, I'm just gonna kick my legs out. I might split him here. Leg split. Now he's really in a bad spot. Can't move his hips. C-fist, in, dig. We're here. Retract the elbow. All right, there's your 3. 1, 2.